Hey there! Today, we're going to be talking about dinosaur tracks from Massachusetts. And when you think about Massachusetts, you don't normally think about dinosaurs, but actually the tracks we'll be seeing were laid down by a dinosaur that looked a whole lot like T-Rex. We'll also be visiting a site that's very historic, probably one of the most important for dinosaur tracks in the entire area. We'll also talk a little bit about some of the modern technologies used by scientists to track, discover, and protect these kinds of fossils.
Imagine around 200 million years ago seeing a giant dinosaur, similar to this T-Rex, run across a muddy beach. Well, what's left behind is called a track or a footprint, which is a trace fossil. It's not a bone or an egg, but it's still direct evidence from the days of the dinosaurs and helps us learn how they lived. This is a 3D scan of the actual trackway from the Nash family dinosaur quarry site in Granby, Massachusetts. The tracks are a little hard to see, but with this black shadow, it should be a bit easier to spot one of the tracks. And here you can see my hand in the footprint of the same type of dinosaur, only a much bigger one. This is what this type of footprint looks like in 3 dimensions. Using some computer filters on these 3D scans, we can make it much easier to spot the tracks. And with a little enhancement, we can even see some possible trackways that we didn't notice earlier, with some help from the computer. Here you can see me walking around the dinosaur track quarry, and I'm being followed by a smart drone. It's using a motion tracking program similar to AI to recognize me and track me while I walk. Using drones like the ones you see here, we can map the entire quarry very quickly and in very fine detail, making a permanent 3D record of every little nook and cranny. This allows us to spot lots of different features, not just the dinosaur tracks, but other things within the local environment from the time that these dinosaurs existed, like plant fossils, ripple marks, possibly some of the food these dinosaurs ate, and more. Here you could see a 3D view of the entire quarry, and some of the variety of different fossils that can be found here. Using automated technology like a drone run by intelligent software, we can take thousands of pictures of the Nash Dino quarry and zoom in on the most important fossils. Using this data, in conjunction with software that converts everything into a 3D image, we can begin to map the geology of the site, as well as all of the fossils, and this helps to understand their relationships to each other. Modern drones are ideal for this because they can not only get a very high view of the entire site from hundreds of feet in the air, but can also get very close and see minute details too. So it's great for what is known as spatial mapping and automatic object detection. This artificial intelligence-based technology is great for paleontologists who want to do a survey of an entire expedition site, which they can digitally take back to their office and share with other scientists over the internet. This can help scientists collaborate better from all corners of the world, and not only study mapped fossils, but also potentially find any overlooked fossils too. And with all of this data, we can help to preserve these fossils digitally by having exact evidence of what these fossils look like in 3D. We can prove if a particular fossil is damaged or stolen, and this, in combination with regular surveillance, helps us protect all kinds of fossils and important historic sites from poachers. And we can also use this technology to identify other fossils too, like these ripple marks.
And even below the surface of this pond, we can find ripples too.
This shallow pond that the drone is flying over is in some ways similar to the type of environment which caused these dinosaur tracks and ripple marks to fossilize. These relatively calm waves that you see on the top of the water here are also reflected in the ripple marks in the sand just beneath the surface of the water. If we take a closer look under the water, you can see the ripple marks here are not too different from the fossil ones. And over time, these ripples dry out and get covered by more sand and mud, and they compress. That means they get squished due to the downward force of gravity and the weight of all the rocks above, like you see here. This same squishing effect also happens to dinosaur tracks as well, and eventually the tracks, ripples, and anything else near the pond will harden and fossilize.
Well, you can see I'm in my chicken coop right now, and it's clearly been raining a lot. It's pretty muddy down here, and I'm surrounded by loads and loads of chicken tracks that look a lot like dinosaur tracks.
As you can see, the mud in this chicken coop is able to preserve these tracks for a while. When they dry out, they're not too different from dinosaur tracks. Only these tracks are probably not likely to become fossils. And the plants, wood, and other objects nearby are also really well preserved at the Nash site too, making this a perfect place to explore not just dino tracks, but also paleoecology, the petrified environments of the dinosaurs too. All this fossil evidence helps us to better understand how they lived long, long ago. All of these 3D files you see here I've made available for download online, and you can find a link below. Thanks to the Nash family and Fred Venn of the Benesky Museum for helping to make this project happen. Please like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.